This video is made for adult collectors because yet another itty bitty tiny Optimus Prime. Surprisingly, there are very little third-party Rise of the Beast Optimus toys. Everyone keeps doing Bumblebee Movie Prime, which, like, yeah, it's a cool design and all, but, like, there's so much of him out there that it would be nice for people to start doing this dude. And they sort of have. There's a couple of different ones that are now actually coming out. But this is one of the first to market, and it's a Chibi Optimus Prime, similar to that Magic Square one we looked at a couple weeks back, but this is a hell of a lot better. Actually, this is a very good third-party toy all around. Like, I'm genuinely surprised at how much I like this. This is JGM Steelhead Commander. It's just Rise of the Beast Prime with a big head. They nailed a lot of the details here and the colors, and the whole thing has a nice matte finish, and there aren't that many sharp points, and the transformation is easy and fun with its own set of interesting twists, and you get a ton of cool stuff like lights. Just for 55 bucks, that's not actually that bad. This was sent over by TF Safari, sponsor time. They have a wide range of third-party and knockoff things on their website to choose from, and they have this epic flash sales tab with different small discounts all the time, with shipping on items being like 7 to 11 bucks on average. They got this guy in stock right now, and thank God they list what kind of batteries this thing needs, because it took me ages to figure out, and then I went, oh, let me just check TF Safari. Oh, thank you. They list them. And if you use code THATTOYGUYSPECIAL 3% off, I know, you can save a little bit off of every order, which is nice. So go check them out. Link to the description down below. Thank you for sponsoring today's video. Now back to the actual toy. Deep breath. Like I said, I really like the matte finish and the colors. I quite dig the shade of blue and the silvery bits picked throughout. I also enjoy how it's not all silver. Like, there's a healthy mix of gray in there too to make it look like actual color breakup. They even got the arm detail pretty accurate, even for something as disproportionate to the original design as this. Head sculpt is great. I mean, it's massive, so it's in your face. They got all the mask details on point, the sculpting around the blue dome and all the vents. Also, if you punch him in the face with the back of his rifle, it activates the lights in his eyes, and they're a nice soft blue, nothing super bright, but nothing dim. This works quite well, which I really enjoy. I'm not the biggest fan of the completely clear windows, kind of wish they had a little bit of tint in them, but the detail behind them is nice, and the chest is open, but there is no matrix, thankfully. I don't have space for another matrix. The backpack does kind of stick out a bit more than I would like it to, but they got all the back details on there, well, as much as they could around the hinges and the actual smokestacks just hanging out back there, which I think is funny. You do get his sword, which clips onto either wrist, his axe, which can be wielded in his hands. I kind of wish it could clip on the rest. The Bumblebee Movie rifle, which is nice and also activates all the lights, and the Rise of the Beast cannon that can also light up using the magnet in the aforementioned gun. To put the batteries in, you have to remove this entire unit. I struggled with figuring that out at first. And you get a swappable mouth portion, which is also a good place to see. That's where the batteries go, down his throat. But you get a mouth, and there's a lot of nice detail. And then you get this grill piece that goes nowhere. Pain. Kind of feels like this was originally intended to be a Bumblebee Movie Prime, and they changed it to Rise of the Beast and just quickly slapped a grill on the front. Now, with all that and how solid this guy is, his range is actually quite nice for the weird proportions you got going on here. So as you saw, he can do quite a bit for being a small dude with a massive head. The head articulation does bother me though, and I'll talk about that now. So the head can rotate left, well, I mean, it can do a full 360 degrees. You don't have to worry about the electronics because they're all housed in the head. You can look up that far and you can look down that far, so you get a nice little bit of up and down for the size of the head. However, once you rotate the head, he can't look up. He can look down, but he can't look up. And that's because the neck, I don't know how well you can see in there, but the neck is a rectangular shaped thing, and so there's a rectangular slot underneath the head. And when you move it up and down this way, oh, the rectangle, like the slot eats the rectangle. But when you go this way, you know, it's not a rectangle anymore. You can't move the head up. It's a bit annoying. Also, if you noticed that this does like to sort of move a little bit, which is kind of annoying. Shoulder can do a full 360 degrees. It can go out about that far.
You have a bicep rotation, single jointed elbow that bends 90 degrees. You also have wrist rotation, and then you have the 3-finger trigger finger split with the trigger finger having 2 joints and then a ball joint and a hinge at the thumb. You have a waist joint that can do a full 360 degrees. Hip skirts can move forward. The legs can go forward about that far, then go back that far, in and out. You have thigh rotation. Now, if you notice, the legs, they only go forward that far, right? You can take the knee pads and actually move them down to get the legs to go out even further. I dig that. I like that. He does have a double jointed knee that can bend that far. And then the ankles can pivot and the toes can both fold down. I kind of wish the ankles could go forward and back, but given how this is designed, I don't really see how they could have done that. But yeah, he's pretty articulated for something like this. I mean, he's a lot less awkward to pose than this thing, so that's pretty cool. Also, I don't think I did a size comparison in any of the shots, so there you go. There's your size comparison. Yay.
So I really enjoy this robot. It's a lot of fun, but the transformation surely has to be a headache, right? Right?
Now, I haven't transformed this thing in a couple days, so hopefully I remember how to do it. Also, it is raining like crazy outside, so I hope the power doesn't go out. Also, if you can hear the rain, I don't think you can, but if you can, then, you know, sorry. So to start with, we are going to do the legs. So the legs are very simple. You just peg them together. If I can line up the pegs. And then you fold the feet together. And that's pretty much it. You're done. You're done. So now we're going to open this backpack up and just sort of fold that out. Get that out of the way. Rotate the smokestacks 180 degrees and bring these panels out. These are going to form the side of the truck in a moment. Rotate the head 180 degrees. Now we're going to rotate the waist 180 degrees and bring it down. And that is going to just sort of hang there like this. Then we're going to take this section here and bring this out and push the grill. Push the grill out and flip it over. Bring that up. Fold the ears down. And then push the head just so that you can get your thumb in here and pull this section out. Then you want to push the head up and top like that. Fold this section in, rotate that fully and leave it there. Now we're going to bring the arms forward and compress them in. Now once you've compressed them in, you can compress the head. Now when you first get this, the instructions don't tell you this very well. I mean, they might. I can't read the language on the instructions, but you're supposed to pull the head up until it clicks. Once you hear it click, then you can pull the shoulders out all the way. They're a little stiff, but you can then pull the shoulders out all the way. If you don't do that, you can't pull the shoulders, and I was stumped on that for like 15 minutes. I finally figured it out, but yeah, you have to pull that out all the way until you hear it click. I'm gonna I think it was Touch Toys. Their video showed me how to do that. So yeah, once you get that all done, we're going to work on the arms. So you're gonna fold this section out. You're going to rotate the hands. You're going to then take this piece right here, fold it open, unpeg the shoulder front, take that, bring that up, rotate the smokestack in, fold this panel flat, and then you just bring that down. And that's, and then you want to take the bicep swivel and rotate the top part around, so the whole thing around, and then rotate the lower part around like so. And that's the arm oriented. So you can now bring the back section here up and into place along the back of the truck here. Just get all that flat. And once that's all flat and in place, you can then take the arm and compress it in and then push it into here, and it will help hold all this together. So I'm just gonna do that on the other side. Bloop, bloop. Okay, so once you have all that done, now we're going to focus on the top part. So this section is going to fold down and around all of this right here. Get that hinge lined up. And then the front part will peg into that, forming the roof. Then you bring this section forward and just sort of wiggle this tab around this panel so that it sits flat like that. And then bring the smokestack back in. Close all this up. Something's not lining up properly. Okay, it helps when the head is pushed all the way in. That was my mistake. Then you fold these panels up on either side. They will peg in, and then these tankers will peg into the slots in the palm of the hands where the gun plugs into. And so you compress the legs in, and then you just peg that into place on either side. Get that all smushed together, and there you have truck mode. Oh, wait, hang on, forgot a step. Take the grill, plug it in. There you have, I don't like that, but there you have truck mode.
Yeah, not so much a headache. At first, it is at first when you have to figure out how everything works and the instructions kind of suck. Hopefully I did an okay job pointing out the bits that the instructions were unclear on and make it a lot easier to figure out. But this is the little Chibi truck. I wrote Chibo. That's not how you spell Chibi. It works super well and has a lot of weight to it now that the mass is condensed. It's nice in hand. Like, it feels great. It rolls okay, though. No matter what I do, I can't get every wheel to touch the ground, and one of my wheels is actually kind of, like, stiff. I think it's pinned in a little too tight. And the weapons basically just get thrown to the side. The instructions don't point out anywhere to go, and I couldn't see anywhere for them to go. If there is, that's great, but But it looks great and feels great, and honestly, I dig this quite a bit. It's up there with one of my favorite third-party figures of this year with New Age Devastator and Omega. Thanks again, Paragon Refugee. So, do I recommend this? Yes, of course. It's a tons of fun. It's a tons of fun. That's not how you speak English. It's tons of fun and is built pretty well with lights. It weighs as much as a modern leader for a modern leader price. Granted, it's not the same size, and one part has to come off, but you do get a lot of stuff. And that little bit of parts forming doesn't bug me super. Like, I wish it had a place to go in the robot, slapping it on the back or something. It has these two pegs at the front of the grill, but for the life of me, I can't find a place for them to fit. They don't sit anywhere, and if it looks like they do, you plug it in there, it just falls out. So I have no idea if this has an actual place to go in the robot mode. I couldn't figure it out. If someone knows, please let me know. But I wish this had a place to go in the robot mode. But that's been my look at the Chibi Rise of the Beast Optimus Prime. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.